Good morning, everybody. You tune into Crag Call. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for choosing to watch the video. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And today we're talking about this alarm system, this emergency alert system that's going to be happening on the 23rd. So basically this Sunday. I mean, today's Friday the 21st of April. So on the 23rd of April, this Sunday, they're doing this test thing. There's an emergency alarm. I mean, we all knew it was coming, didn't we? Fucking course we did. I mean, call it predictive programming or whatever you want. There's many different facets to this. Maybe there's a war going on behind closed doors and they're having to do this, the oligarchs are having to do this in order to make it look like it's predictive programming. It could be a fucking bluff, a double bluff, Christ, who knows these days. But what is known is, if anybody was into that Q stuff a couple of years ago, they said there would be an alarm system, didn't they? They said there'd be an alarm, the internet and everything would get shut down, not to panic, and basically for 3 days on rotation there would be 8-hour segments, 3 8-hour segments of the tribunals that have been happening apparently behind closed doors. You know, all of these world fucking pseudo leaders confessing to their evil crimes and stuff. Lots of disclosure surrounding various different aspects of our reality. UFOs probably being one of them, you know, an extraterrestrial life on this planet. All that kind of stuff, you know, our history. It seems that was said, and there is going to be an alarm system. Now, I'm not saying that that's what it is. Of course I'm not. I'm saying it's likely that it's not going to be that. It's more likely laying in the foundations of an alert system that they can use to rally their subjects, us, you know. It's another form of segregation. It's a means of control, isn't it? Through fear. I don't know if anybody's looked it up. If you have a look on the government website in the UK, gov.uk, or just type in emergency alarm test into Google or Safari, whatever, and you'll see the Gov link. Just click on that and it tells you about it. If you read that brief section of information, it basically just says that what it will be like, i.e. it will be an alarm, potentially it will read out instructions to you as well. This is if your phone is on silent as well, guys. So if your phone's on silent, it doesn't matter. Goes to show you, they can download anything they want onto your phone to bypass any aspect of your own personal settings through these updates and all that kind of stuff. They can download anything they want on there. And you know what? The updates are most likely just consent, probably. You click OK for an update. They make it obligatory for you to use your phone properly. Or, you know, you've got to stay up to date with all of the latest stuff. Otherwise your phone won't work properly. You know, the phone that we're so desperately attached to these days. You know, we're all addicted to the tech. So we have to keep it updated, man, you know. It's just like Deus Ex, Human Revolution. Got to keep your chip updated. But, you know, they download shit, they get your consent. And now they're kind of throwing this out there. It says there's going to be emergencies and severe emergencies, these kind of things. Basically, that's emergency service type stuff, earthquakes, floods. I mean, when the fuck do we get earthquakes in the UK? Floods and shit. Like, I get certain places have floods, yeah, alright. But natural disasters like earthquakes and stuff, when are you going? I remember there was a slight rumble once when I was a kid. You know? Oh, did you feel the earthquake last night? There was a slight rumble. Now, they were probably excavating some fucking deep underground military base underneath where I live. And that was the TNT going off. Or the thing was collapsing in on itself. Who knows? Something happened anyway. Now, why on earth do you need an alert for a fucking earthquake that's alert worthy in this country? You don't. Fucking Eamon Holmes, the twat, was saying that it could be to do with fucking an alien attack. Talk about fucking predictive programming. Look at the way that shit's going in America with all of the election stuff. I heard on that on the Dark Journalist channel on YouTube, he was discussing the election, and he says that it's important because both Bobby Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump are both going to have to step up with the alien disclosure, because it's a big part of our future. Now, if you look at that, certain folks are going to want to try and get ahead of all of that, should that be the case. Because if there's going to be a disclosure, you can guarantee that the twisted little oligarchs that run this country, this world, this planet, you know, this reality, they're going to want to try and they're going to try and spin their own version first. So they'll be scrambling to arms, won't they, at this point, to try and get ahead of it. Should that be the case? Should there be an actual conflict behind closed doors with how this planet is governed? Maybe there is, like fucking David Wilcock said a few years back, maybe there is, you know, some form of alliance within the shadow fucking government that are trying to take it down from the inside because they realise, you know, it's all gone sour. Who knows? It's all speculation. You know, this folder is called One Man's Opinion for a reason. So anyway, we find ourselves with an alarm system that's going to be happening on Sunday. I mean, ultimately, I don't like it, personally. Have you seen the film Kingsman? I don't like it. If on Sunday afternoon, by the time you've finished your dinner, you hear maniacal screams from outside the front door, don't go outside. Although you'll probably hear them if your phone has been turned off. But anyway, what's all of this about, you know? Why are they doing this? You've got to ask the question. You've got to ask, why are they doing this fucking alarm system thing? Well, it says that these alarms and the instructions that you will get are based upon your region. They're regional. So, okay. They're regional. So you're telling me then that different instructions need to be given to different people based on where they live. I can understand that. Should there be an actual emergency, certain people will need to know the rally point, so to speak. They'll need to know the congregation point where they need to head for. But this is all starting to seem a little bit fucking Walking Dead. You know? Meets fucking Battle for Los Angeles type shit. You know, fuck it. And then where does this end up? Like, the Hunger Games? Everybody's in their sector? It's starting to get a bit weird, isn't it? Because where's the threat? Well, there isn't one, is there? Unless anybody's been looking at the night sky just lately and there's that huge fucking star. Maybe it's not a star, bro. Maybe it's a meteorite coming straight for Earth. That's why you can't see the trail. You can just see the fucking front of it. Maybe it's a massive mothership. I don't know. But there is a massive star in the sky, and I mean, it's huge. So big, in fact, when I saw it, I had to fucking pull over in the car at night to have a closer look. Because I was like, what the fuck is that? I had to pull over on this dark country lane and have a look. And it was a bit fucking freaky, man, because it's huge. Like, it's bigger than any other star in the sky, and it's new. I mean, I've not seen it there before. Hence, I'm mentioning it. So, who knows what this is about, man? But you can guarantee that if our fucking farmers are putting it out there and creating a mandatory thing, you know, again, it doesn't matter if your phone's on silent, all these kind of things. It works off 4G and 5G. Isn't that funny? They've just shut down 3G. You can't get it anymore. 3G is no longer active. 4G is now the lowest capacity. So it works on 4G and 5G. It's mandatory. If these people are putting it out there, it ain't good, guys. It's a way to control the population through fear. Think about it. You're walking down the street, you're driving down the street, whatever, you sat in your house, all of a sudden you hear a fucking siren going off. You look at your phone, it says, all people, you know, all citizens to fucking head to, I don't know, the local community centre. Where are we? Fucking fascist Germany. Are we living in Nazi Germany? Because surely, if there's a threat, we can make our own fucking minds up. We don't need to be babied and told what to do. Like, first and foremost, do you trust these people? Because I think it's fucking obvious, you know, in the year 2023, how we're still here, I don't know. But we are. So we ought to treat every day as a fucking gift. And use it for critical thought. And on that fucking bombshell, I think what we ought to be doing is asking ourselves, do we trust the people that are in control? I think it's obvious at this point in 2023 that they can manufacture a threat. Am I wrong? At this point in the game, I mean, Christ, it's been obvious for years, but at this point, over the last few years, is it not glaringly obvious that these people can manufacture a threat? I'd say so. I'd say, you know what? We have to go out on a limb here and say that these people can manufacture a threat pretty good. You know? They've got a few threats lined up that they're just waiting to roll out. And now they've got the apparatus to use whatever it is that they fucking put out there as a threat as a way to now administer global population control through these fucking alarm systems. They can say anything they want. Oh, there's a new threat. Everybody's got to get to the fucking rally point B. You know, and then you'll have the military walking around the streets, the fucking NATO probably, walking around the streets with fucking guns, gathering up all the people that chose not to. And I bet you that eventually, maybe not at first, but eventually these places where you're told to go will be fucking fenced. They'll have barbed wire around the top of the fences and stuff. Like I said, maybe not at first. It'll be soft at first. That's how they like to do these things. They like to fucking put it in you softly before they start to ravage you from the inside out. That's how they work. Can't you fucking see it? They're horrible people. They like to give you sweets before they give you the poison. It's like that fucking old bag from that film, Flowers in the Attic. She's dusting a little arsenic on their cookies on a daily basis until eventually they just fucking keel over and die. The other two, mind you, realise, holy shit, this isn't normal. They've started to get black rings around their eyes. They wise up to it. They stop eating the cookies and they fucking push that bitch over and fucking run for it. That's what we've got to do. That old hag is the oligarchs. That's basically Daenerys when she got old, you know? My God. I'm telling you now, man. What a mess. They're going to throw a test out there to get you used to it. Once the test has been done, just to test the system, you know, we've just got to test the system here, make sure it all works, and then all of a sudden it'll be, well, we need to run another test, an active test or something like this, and it'll be, right, yep, there's not a real threat, but we're going to do an operation, we're going to run an op. So just do as you're told this one time, and we just want to see how it works. See how long it takes people to get to this point and that point. People will go along with it because it's just a fucking test. All of a sudden, you know, people are stood around in the community centre, at the church, whatever, you know, looking at their phones, having a bit of a laugh about it. Oh, isn't this peculiar? You know, isn't this queer? And then all of a sudden, they've got you one step further along. But it's just a test, guys. Don't worry about it. Until eventually, there's a minor threat. Oh, yeah. Now we know what to do. We'll go to church. Oh, no. Oh, you know, well, the threat's a little bit more severe this time. And they'll come out with a fucking narrative. Well, you know, since all of the fucking threats, you know, everybody's kind of meeting at these points, the capacity's just not enough. So what we've had to do is we've had to build facilities. By the way, we've had to build a facility that the taxpayers had to pay for. You know, and again, how quickly can they build a facility? Well, we found out, didn't we? With all of the fucking marigold places or whatever they were called. The bloody fucking Build-A-Bear hospital things that they put up and then took down again. You know? What were they called again? I can't even remember. Nightingale, that was the bloody stuff. The Nightingale hospitals that they put up and took down again. Well, now they know how quickly that they can fucking erect a fucking structure to house thousands of people should there be an emergency. Again, it was, well, I daren't say the word, I nearly said it. The C word was a test. Because now they can say, well, we've built these facilities, guys, again. For a public emergency, we've built the facility. Now everybody's got to go there because You know, just in case it becomes more severe, in case there's another fucking episode where there's a severe warning we've got to warn you about. No problem, Governor. Everybody's already doing it now. You know, people have been to church, they've been to the community centre. You know, they fucking met on the football field. But now it's getting more serious. It's slowly catchy monkey. Everybody's used to it now. They're just fucking doing it, just as a daily routine. All of a sudden, you know, the facility, they turn up there, you've got fucking armed guards, fences as high as you can see, fucking barbed wire spiralling around the top. You ain't getting out. Now it's concentration camp time. Now, unless you're re-educated, you ain't leaving. What's that funny smell, Governor? Oh, there's a fucking plume of smoke coming from that chimney over there. People go in, but they don't come out. I wonder why. You see, this, guys, look. This is all speculation, of course. This is just one man's opinion and a fucking chain of thought. But isn't it scary to think that that's the way this could head? That's the way that this could end up, based on knowing who these people are first and foremost. What's happened over previous years? I mean, how many evil people have you guys come across in your life? You know, personally. Horrible people have no conscience, let me tell you that. They have no conscience, they do not care about you or your well-being. And these people are no different. As a matter of fact, they're worse. I dare say we wouldn't be able to imagine the horrors that they have either done or could do, given the opportunity. We couldn't even imagine it because we're not that kind of people, which is why it's dangerous. Because we can't imagine it. We wouldn't do it, so we don't expect it. But you know what? Expect bad things. That's all I'm saying. Expect bad things from these alarm systems. And if it starts to get more and more intense, and they start to ask you to do more and more with these things, refuse. Point blank refuse. Ignore. Unless you can fucking see something out of your window, unless there are people dying on your fucking front garden, keeling over, en masse, unless there's a spaceship in the sky, and even if there's a spaceship in the sky, question that, because you can guarantee they've got the technology to fucking fake an alien attack. Ask questions first. Don't give in to the fear, and ask questions first. Ask questions of yourself, ask questions of the motives of the people that might be doing this to you, and wait for some form of physical evidence of what's going on, of what they say is going on, before you act. I would say this: prepare now. Do what you can to prepare. Whether it's buying a few tins, storing them. Don't go fucking crazy and leave other people without, but buy a few extra fucking tins and bags of whatever, non-perishable food. Store them. They've got a couple of years date on them. You're going to eat them eventually, don't worry about it. But just prepare. Buy a few melee weapons. Arm the fuck up, guys. Be prepared for something, because I'm telling you now, if this fucking shit goes down, you're going to need something to fall back on, because I don't see anything good coming from all of this, based on who it is that is running the show. They are horrible psychopaths. And they're not trustworthy, are they? Let's face it. Be your own governor. Ask questions. And for God's sakes, be prepared. And on that note, this is Cragcore signing off. I'm going to wish love and peace to all things everywhere. Let's hope it doesn't come to a fight, guys. Peace.